Okay, so it seems that there's been another situation going on with Deme. Now, again, it seems like a tweet has been going pretty viral over some kind of stuff that she said over on a stream, and well, people aren't very happy once again. Now, again, this is the tweet. Obviously she's reacting to a Mugen video, I think it is. Obviously, Chibi is there. She's reacting to the Mugen video on her, by the way, which is funny. But essentially, yeah, it's got a bit up about Chibi and things like that. And she goes on a little bit of a talk about the word kind of tourist, which obviously is something that's used a lot within VTubing and anime and all of this kind of stuff. Which again, we'll go into the clip and then we'll talk about it. And yeah, let's see.
In other words, government should stay away from what I post on the internet, and people who don't understand anime should stay away from anime. So what defines a tourist?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think you're a full-on weirdo if you care about quote-unquote tourist in any form of media or some shit like that. I'm gonna keep it so real. I think you're a full-on, please go outside, please experience the world. Genuinely, you are too online. Go the outside. If you just care about people, like, let's say, like, casually, like, enjoying a media or something, and then you have to be like, God, you're a tourist! I watch this every single day of my life! This is my life that you're talking about! Oh my God. Jesus Christ. And it's always about anime too. Like, holy
Well, to Chibi, it was simple.
So yeah, obviously that's what she said, and obviously a lot of people are pretty angry about that. And obviously, yeah, tourist is a word that gets used a lot. It's usually described to describe someone essentially that comes into either VTubing or an anime show or whatever, literally anything. And then they start to complain about it or want to change things about it and things like that, which of course is what then people would class as a tourist, right? And people would end up calling them that, and it just ends up being one of these things that, yeah, it's just like it's a word to kind of describe someone, right? But yeah, this person then responds to it by saying, we genuinely need a VTuber purge. The fact that Demi doesn't understand the basic concept of not wanting outsiders to come in and ruin something beloved says everything. I hate saying this is a problem with VTubing because there are various issues, but this is one of the most obvious ones. Fat tourist blanks, like Demi using a VTuber avatar to make her garbage excuse for content. This blank's entire lifestyle and career would not exist without anime and VTubing being a thing, and she has literally no respect for that reality. Demi, Bao, Feifei, and the cabal of all the E-blanks that are festering and poisoning the entire E and VTuber scene within it. So obviously, yeah, this person is not very happy with a lot of the VTubers and things. Obviously, they drop a couple of other people there, Bao and Feifei as well, which I think is interesting. But obviously, there's been a lot of responses and things like that to it. Like, for example, people saying tourist doesn't equal casual, right? I guess this VTuber doesn't understand what she's talking about. Nobody hates a casual. People hate an outsider that joins a fandom, complains about everything, demands changes, censorship to their taste, and usually even hates the thing in the first place. This is a tourist. Tourists are a cancer. Nobody wants a tourist in their thing they love, which, yeah, I think that's fair enough, right? I don't think anybody is complaining about casual watchers, right? If you are someone, well, I mean, some people do, and I know that some people do get funny about it, and I do think they are the weird ones, the ones that get so funny about it if you literally just watch something casually, right? I think, yeah, you are a weirdo if you seriously get upset about that. But I can understand 100%, and I even support, obviously, people getting angry about people coming into a space or a medium or anything, or any kind of series or fandom, and wanting to change things and wanting to censor things and things like that, which we've seen quite a lot, right? We've seen it so much in the case of like Stellar Blade and things like that, people wanting to censor that. Those are the kind of, epitome of what a tourist is, right? People that have seen this game through a random trailer or whatever, and now they're calling for it to be censored for a game that they probably won't even play, right? Which again, obviously is something that, I've made a lot of videos on, and I feel like, it is something that does need to be talked about and fought back against. So I think that kind of thing, can be talked about and can be, yeah, I think it is fair enough if someone gets angry and someone does want to have a discussion about people trying to ruin their favorite game or their favorite anime or whatever, because that is what tourists do. They try to change your favorite thing just because it doesn't fit their personal taste, which again is, I feel like people have a right to be not so happy about that, right? Now, of course, I think it really just depends on the situation too, right? If it's just someone, as I said, casually watching a show or whatever, and maybe they don't understand something about the show and you seriously get upset over that, I think that is a little bit crazy. But yeah, as I said, if it's something that is genuinely threatening the show or the VTuber, or literally anything, because again, as I said, Taurus can be used for multiple things, not even just anime shows and things like that. But you know, if it does directly impact it and it could have an impact on it, then of course, yes, that is a problem. And I think that is something that I wouldn't be so surprised if people got angry about it, right? A lot of people say, tells people to touch grass, spent a holiday on X bitching about drama. I mean, it's quite funny. So Deme fascinates me in the sense that her content is literally nothing. Most of the time, she steals other people's content, doesn't say anything, or if she does, it's the most retarded shit you've ever heard. I don't even know how often she plays games, like who even watches this, which again, you know, I think she just does react content. I know react content is pretty popular anyways. Again, I don't have any problem with reactors, so I don't know. But yeah, obviously as well, they this person here, I can't scroll down because it's a picture of Crowley, as you can see, but there isn't anything there that I can't show on YouTube. Saying, I hear you, I've made similar comments, but brother, what is this? It's the same thing. You're railing against being supported and pushing and pushed at the same time. We can talk about how this type of content is bad for the VTubing scene, which I agree with, but why do you help it along too? And then they obviously respond here by saying, Crowley isn't insufferable. I've never had an issue with VTubers reposting NSFW out of themselves. The issue is when the insufferable blanks invade and blatantly have no respect for the medium that they are partaking in. So essentially what this problem has what this person has a problem with is essentially you know, people coming into the VTuber space, people that already have preconceived kind of ideas about, oh, I'm going to start off an OF or Fansly or whatever, and become a VTuber and things like that. And they are essentially using VTubing to promote that. I think that is something that they're not so happy about. At least that's what I can see from these comments. Obviously, Demi, I don't think does that. I know she reposts NSFW content on her page. Obviously, that's what kickstarted a lot of the drama that went on. But again, obviously, that's probably why that person was calling it out and saying, well, why do you support Crowley doing this if you don't support Demi? But it seems like they have no problem with VTubers reposting NSFWR of themselves, which I think is fine. Again, as I said before, I don't have a problem with any of them making content. I don't have a problem with any of them reposting certain content either, right? I think it's just ridiculous that people get so worked up about it. But I do think at the same time as well, if you're using VTubing to as like a funnel to you know, kind of go to those websites and things, and essentially using the popularity of it and the appeal of it to garner an audience in that way, then I do think it's a little bit odd, right? Am I going to stop you? No, but obviously I feel like it is a little bit weird, and that's why people are so angry, right? Obviously, you're saying the crazy part is there's people that actually find her entertaining. I have to ask myself why. So I cannot stand a lot of otaku these days because they just want anime to stagnate, thinking fan service and body humor replaces good writing and storytelling. But blanks like Deme are on the opposite end of the same coin, where they also want the medium to stagnate with more themes, media literacy, death of the author, and representation. So yeah, as if this replaces good writing and storytelling, all that I listed here are cancer to any type of entertainment medium. So yeah, interesting. You're saying, seriously, Demi, you need to shut up. People already moved on from your shallow badass. Why are you fanning the flames again? Is it a slow day in Cali? If you want views, it's easy. Go open a Fansly and get cracked by your streamer boyfriend or your. So you can see like a lot of people are, you know, kind of going after her pretty personally. I don't think that's like I don't really care what she does, you know, in her free time or whatever. But again, I think that, yeah, I do disagree with the fact of like, I think that there is, I agree with people saying that there is a difference between a tourist and a casual, and I kind of disagree with the like the clip that obviously Demi has there. I think it is fair enough that people do get angry. People that are like actively trying to, you know, ban things, censor things, everything like that. I feel like, you know, that isn't, you know, that is something that you can get angry about. But I do also, you know, if it was probably worded a bit better, I could agree with her in the sense that if you get angry at someone just being a casual, then that's fair enough, right? I think that if you are angry at someone being a casual viewer of an anime, of a VTuber or whatever, so they don't know exactly every single detail or every single thing, and you're seriously getting angry at them for not knowing that, then I think that is weird. But as I said, if it is someone or something that is trying to censor, ban, kind of, come into the space and essentially ruin your favorite thing, then I think there you have every right to be angry about it, and to, I don't think you're a person that needs to touch grass per se. I think you're just someone that's concerned about something that you like, right? As the same with anybody would, that's not online. They would also be concerned about something, being taken down or something being removed. It happens all the time in real life. So it happens all the time on the internet too, right? Saying, oh, this again. So obviously a lot of people would just be like, oh God, this entire drama all started back up over again. Because obviously the Deme drama was very, very extensive and long. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all of the kind of information that we have on this. Again, it is pretty interesting to see the amount of responses and things to this, but it seems like it has been blowing up lately. So I think she's got a little bit more hate coming her way, right? Again, as I said, at the end of the day, I think there are some things that I disagree with in the clip with Deme, but there's also some things that I could agree with if it was maybe worded better. But it's obviously just one of those things, right, where what can you do about it, right? And so obviously now people are not so happy. But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code CRAZIER, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.